your main man Jay Zone, and right now you're checking out the Hip Hop Shop on rapreviews.com, rapreviews.com, rapreviews.com. Well, I'm not getting a pedicure and a manicure with your mama in the nail shop. That's exactly where you can find me, so don't go nowhere.
Yo, what up, man? It's K Murdoch, one half of Panacea, one half of Subsonic, representing progressive hip-hop, just like the Hip Hop Shop. You're checking it out, showing mad love. Whenever it's time for me to get up and do the rap review thing, I'm ready and able, brother. I'm ready and able, brother. I'm ready and able, brother.
All right, thank you, K Murdoch. We are ready and able, brother, to bring you another episode of the Hip Hop Shop right here on rapreviews.com. And I've got a very special guest with me today for an interview. And let me just start out by making a personal reference to his brand new album, which you can get on bandcamp.com, and he'll be telling you all about that. He's also a very versatile freestyler. He's done a lot of work with a lot of great artists, and we're going to let him tell those stories instead of me telling them. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Chaz Kangas.
Thank you very much, Steve. It is a beautiful day. I'm coming to you live from the corner of 111th and Riverside here in New York City.
I'm glad it's a beautiful day for you because I'm given to understand from reading your blog you've had some not-so-beautiful days of late.
Yeah, I was incredibly sick and laid out for about a week. It was a sort of, to be honest, a pretty scary and genuine not feeling well time. But now I am back at 110%, ready, willing, and unstable.
So without violating any HIPAA regulations or anything, how much can you tell us about that? I mean, what exactly happened that laid you out so badly?
It was really just, a factor of, when, one, illness strikes, another one stacks on top of another one. It's, dual ear infections leading to bronchitis, 5 doctor visits later, I wind up with 4 of my 5 senses very compromised. But that's thankfully I was had some great care. Shout out to Dr. Patel at the 81 and 3rd Lens Crafters, who was an absolute lifesaver in every sense of the word. And now I am back at 100%, and I am absolutely ready for spring and summer in New York City.
Spring and summer in New York City is a long ways away from where you first started out. So let's give the listeners who don't know a little bit of background on your history growing up.
Well, I am originally from Minneapolis, Minnesota, northeast Minneapolis to be precise. I was born in 1986, August 14th, so my birthday is only 3 short shopping months away. And I started just really getting into hip-hop and music at an early age, and I was one of those kids who really spent all of his weekends and such at record stores. And in Minneapolis, we had a lot. Cheapo Records in Fridley, Minnesota, which is right outside of Minneapolis, was one of my favorites. We also, still active is The Fifth Element, which is on 2411 Hennepin Avenue, which is the one where Rhymesayers is located in. And just really that amongst all the other constant record stores really allowed me just really into music, because the beauty of Minnesota's location in the middle north of the Midwest is really every region of hip-hop, like UCDs or for whatever subgenre, would all filter upward. And so at the same time growing up, I was listening to local stuff like Your Atmospheres. I was also very fortunate to grow up on Scarface and Ghetto Boys, E40, UGK, just really great music from all sorts of different regions. And so from there, I wound up coming to New York in 2004 for film school, for cinema studies at NYU, and I've stayed for the pie, among other reasons.
And the bagels, right? Obviously.
The bagels are fantastic. If anyone is ever in the city, this may sound disgusting, but it's what I absolutely recommend. This amalgamation of flavors is absolutely fantastic. Get a cinnamon raisin bagel and get it heated, toasted, and get cream cheese and lox on it. And for those not near the East Coast, lox is a type of salmon spread. It's basically North Atlantic salmon or Alaskan salmon just put over the bagel. And the combination of all these 3 flavors together is positively exquisite. I'd name it after myself if I wasn't so certain that someone had probably already figured that out beforehand, and I'm trying to avoid that conflict. But I will gladly recommend it.
Well, I can attest to it because I didn't have the cinnamon raisin bagel. Mine was plain, but when I was in New York in '99, I definitely had the fresh toasted bagel with salmon and cream cheese and capers and a little bit of tomato on it, and it was just absolutely lovely. I mean, it's one of the best things you can eat.
It's just it all comes together so perfectly, and in New York, really, I mean, along with having a distinct sound for hip hop, it's such a distinct flavor for bagels. So.
Yeah, you can get bagels anywhere in the world, but you can't get a New York bagel anywhere other than New York. It's
exactly. Yeah, New York bagels are top 5 dead or alive bagels. So.
Although there's some mighty good eating in Minneapolis too. I've spent many a fine weekend there. In fact, the first issue of the first magazine I ever picked up when I was like 11 or 12 years old was on a news rack in Minneapolis. So that was
really?
a big. Yeah, that was a big launching point for me because you couldn't find hip-hop magazines anywhere in Iowa growing up. And I picked up the Source, and it had Third Base on the cover, and I was just mesmerized. I was like, holy shit, this is what I've been looking for my whole life.
Wow. So was that like during the second wave of Third Base, like around 91? Because if it wasn't, there might have actually been another Twin Cities artist covered in there in 91, 92, DMG, who is from St. Paul, who was signed to Rap A Lot and put out a fantastic album called Rigor Mortis.
Right. I believe that was the same issue. I believe it was right around the time Derelict's Dialect came out. So.
Yep. That would be the issue then. Yeah. Awesome. So yeah, plenty of Minneapolis, Twin Cities, rather, hip hop connections.
How much did you know the guys, like the Rhyme Sayer guys growing up? Did you have interactions with them before you moved out to New York, or was it kind of like you had to go to New York just to link back up with everybody in Minneapolis?
Oh, well, the beauty of Minneapolis is there is, it's such a scene that's so interactive. Like, you inadvertently see people with a sort of regularity, and they become acquaintances or just cool people to see and you can regularly talk to. And really, just more than just the beauty of like seeing them at shows and just being really approachable and friendly. You'd see them in record stores. You'd talk music and music recommendations. Like at Fifth Element, I'd see Felipe Cuatley of Rhyme Sayer's group Los Nativos on a regular basis. And he's a great guy. And as for, like Slug is often, or at the time was often, I'm sure he still is, at First Avenue. And then you have like, at every show you'd see like Brother Ali or, ID and Abilities, ID Rest in Peace, just constantly. And then, eventually they come to New York and, they sort of recognize you and it's, it's a back and forth. But really in terms of just like actually performing and being known music-wise, I don't think I think it really did it for me was after I was in New York for a few years, I came back for a summer and I won the Twin Cities Celebration of Hip Hop Battle in 2007, which is usually like the largest annual battle in Minnesota and like in a lot of cases like one of the largest in the Midwest that rappers from all over the regions would flock over and take part in it. Just a large tournament, and the quarterfinals through the finals all took place on one night in First Avenue, and that was after I had really honed the battling skills in New York. And so that was a really good feeling because every kid in Minneapolis or in Minnesota that grows up who's a musician just secretly wants to be Prince. And then to finally debut and have my First Avenue debut rather, on that stage and, the co-headlining event of the night along with what actually was the ID and Abilities reunion show was really just an incredible moment. And then following that battle that night, I actually met ID's grandparents who were both just the coolest cats in the land.